Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start my live stream. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. And I'm sure we'll get people to join. As I kind of just give a quick overview, we should be coming to an end of the impulse off these lows that we saw back on April 22nd. This should be coming to an end, and then we are expecting a bigger pullback to take place, potentially a retest of this breakout. Doesn't have to do that, but we should get a pullback soon, and then we should really launch into new highs. Now, how we pull back is going to be tricky, but I think we do need at least one more high. But then at that point, we may not get the second high. We just have to wait and see. But I am looking for a bigger pullback in the market, guys. And that's essentially the gist of it. We should be topping out next week with a bigger pullback at the end of the month, toward the end of the month, maybe early June. And then the Russell may already have started its pullback. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. The Russell also has a nice inverse head and shoulder potential continuation pattern here playing out. This will be the time where you want to look at meme stocks again, guys. You don't want to FOMO into meme stocks until the Russell really is down here. Now, there could be individual breakouts, right? There's always exceptions. But this is really the opportunity, I think, if this can happen. That's the market overview. All right, guys, let's go to your questions. Marianne, let's go to AMD and Disney. And again, I'm only going to do two symbols. And as long as I can get to everybody. Let's see here, AMD, guys. AMD's in a connector wave, right? So AMD is in a connector wave that is going to grind. I would expect it to continue to grind higher, but eventually fail. The reason for that is we have 5 down. Okay, we have 5 down. But now we're in this connector. The connector in B could play out in so many different ways. There's no way to predict it. I really don't like trading connector waves because it could do something like a triangle, like that, right? It could do something like this, like that. It could even do this, like that. So connector waves is where a lot of traders lose a lot of money, right? This is a lot of people lose a lot of money trading connector waves, but it's not to say you can't trade it, right? But I would say I believe we're in some kind of connector. I'm not interested in trading AMD until I get this swing lower at some point. At some point this should come because we have 5 waves down. And it's so clear. It's clear 5 waves. There's no way you can talk yourself out of that. So that's why I look at the structure this way. And so I do see some upside. I think this is too shallow because it's a grand supercycle correction in AMD happening. So I do believe that the B wave should continue for a little more time. And the C wave eventually will hit. Okay. And then Disney guys has that 5th wave, and it should be finishing at any moment, right? The 5th wave it could already be done. So I would say Disney. Let's take a look at the 15. Okay, so I don't like this. You erase divergence on the 15 and on the 45, so it's extending down into, so it's going to continue to drop. It's got an extension, so I would say with Disney it's going to go deeper. It's going to go deeper because it extended, and that's always the risk of buying away, trying to buy away 5, right? You always take that risk. And now we're getting a deeper pullback. Now it could be this, right? We don't know. So I won't label the rest of it, but I do believe we have a deeper pullback in progress, and we'll have to wait and see where it ends up. I do believe this low will hold, this low here at 78, and we do get another swing higher at some point. I do believe that that will happen, but this is a shakeout. This is going to try to get people out on this flat correction, but unfortunately with my system, with the divergence erasing, we have an extension in wave 3 with a 1-2, 1-2, so the wave 5 setup is lost in my system. Now, that's how I would label it. Now, some people could say, oh, it's just a 3-wave move down, right? It's a 3-wave move down. I don't like that, because we didn't have a 3-wave move up. We have an impulse up, and so to me, I wouldn't label this in 3 waves as a corrective. So that's why I think it's going to continue lower, right? That's why I think it's going to continue lower. You got this gap that needs maybe fill, right? Let's see. Do we have any daily gaps? Looks like a daily gap right here. Yeah, it's probably going to go deeper. That's what I'm seeing. All right, let's go to Palantir. Palantir, so we have here the first leg. We have 3 legs. And now we need that final leg. So I'm looking for that one last push lower to 1839. 1839. That's what I'm looking for. This area, and it looks like it should start pretty soon. Should see that pretty soon. AI and PDD. AI, we did break the low, right? We had this low, we held it, but when we broke it here, we created an A, we're in a B, and we have one more push lower in C, and then that should finish the correction in the first wave 2. In a 1-2. So I'm looking for that. This again, look for the Russell to bottom out when this probably finishes. So this is just kind of what I'm thinking. And then we get some kind of move down. It could see potentially as low as $12.50. If this low breaks at 9.98, then I wouldn't trade this anymore, on the long side at least. But this is the setup. 3, 3, and you need one more push lower. Then PDD. So PDD clearly finished its correction here, just a little bit short of the buy area. Didn't quite make it. And actually, let's take another look at that. I still would be careful. It could be in a connector wave still. I think it still could be in a connector wave. I still think it could be in a connector wave. Bullish divergence indicates it's 5 down. Yeah, I think it's still in the connector wave. And then down. That's what I'd look for. Something like that. Now, when is it going to end? Tough to say when that C leg will end, but probably pretty soon. The short area is 150.50, and it looks like it just missed it, so it may already be finished. B. And then we're going to pull back and C. Something like that. If this happens, the buy area would be 105.48, 95, this area. All right, that's it. That's the PDD. Yeah, so Disney, for stop losses on Disney, because it's a flat, flats are always dangerous to trade because theoretically a flat can crash all the way back down, right? It doesn't have to stop. So typically my stop loss on flat corrections is the 618 would be 99.11. But I think given the divergence being erased, I would leave the trade like now. That's what I mean. But you have to make that own decision because I can be wrong. But personally, I would be leaving. I would have left it as soon as divergence erased. I would have left the trade because that tells me it's going to go lower. But normally, I would wait to that 99 breaks. That would be my stop out. But honestly, with the divergence being erased, I don't like it anymore. Hey, Anonymous. Yeah, it's great. Hey, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm getting more subscribers. I think AMC and GME has been pretty popular with people, so I'll continue that update. And looks like our silver trade worked out. So it's good to see that people, finding value in what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't always get it right, but when we do get it right, our trades really work out well. Okay, let's take a look at your cryptos. So thanks for the 12. Let's go to a couple of these cryptos and then Neo. Let's go to crypto here. Let's see here. MIGI. So we were trying to trade this, right? We have 3, 3. So we look at this and we go, it's too short, but obviously this first cycle's over, right? This first cycle is over. Well, maybe not. It hasn't ended. It looked like it. Let's look at the RSI. Yeah, so here's the thing. This could be a very shallow connector. If it is, then the double bottom target's in play. It's still in play. And in fact, I would expect it. But this is so shallow. We never really pushed down hard enough. And why? You see, you have divergence. You don't want divergence there. My guess is, again, this is just my take. I bet we'll do something like this, and then we'll go lower for another swing, like that, to finish the correction. I bet that's what we'll end up doing. But I can't rule out that we start going down. But you really have to hold 85 cents. So that's what I look at it. So if this does pop like that, I think it's a bull trap. It's a bull trap, and it will eventually rug pull. Even if C extends. So that's how I look at that one. Let's go to Litecoin. The coins. Okay, yeah, let's go to Litecoins. So Bitcoin, I expect Bitcoin to go to 77, maybe 80,000. If it happens, you would expect those two to rise in value and then have a fall, right? So I look at Litecoin as a series of 1-2, 1-2s. My guess is it's going to explode higher soon to make some room on the upside. That's my guess. As long as these lows hold. That's what I'd be looking for. And if you can get that, maybe Litecoin will break out, and then when Bitcoin pulls back, these lows hold. Of course, if Litecoin breaks 70, it's going to unravel fast. So it's in the moment of truth. That's why the market's frozen. It doesn't know what to do because a big move is coming. But I guess it's going to go higher, and then Bitcoin Cash. We're in a connector wave. I expect it to come back up. Maybe it can come up a little bit more to 5, and then drop a big drop. Maybe form this right shoulder, and then finish wave 2. This will change the target based on how high B goes, how high this goes. But B, theoretically, B could come up. So I think we're going to have a B wave. So I do think with Bitcoin going higher, I believe these will go higher. Litecoin will go higher. Bitcoin Cash will make a new low, but I think Litecoin will hold the low. That's how I see it. And then NEO, guys. NEO is good because it's got a really pretty chart setup, right? Classic inverse head and shoulder reversal pattern playing out that anyone could see from, a million miles away, right? Look, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, out, $9. But can it be that easy? Probably not. So I still wouldn't, I still would be careful. But if we do push lower, it's still going to probably be supported at 480, and then it would just wave two. We're just in this wave two still. The surprise could be a deeper correction, but I'm pretty confident this low will hold. This is just games to steal your shares before a big move, right? This will just be, if the market wants to drop it down to $4, then I absolutely would buy it against 362. But I'm already a buyer here. I'm personally long this, but don't copy my trades because I can be wrong. And I can get out of a trade at any moment for any reason, and you won't know about it. So don't just assume. But right now I'm in this trade, and we'll just see what happens. See what happens. Again, you have a massive wedge and a trend. The whole move from the very beginning has ended, right? Has ended from the top. We're going to get more upside. We got to get, but this could be volatile to test your conviction. The market may want to test your conviction in this before it gives you the wave 3, the real wave 3. So you just have to understand that. Manage your risk, manage your money. But I mean, this is the chart, guys. This is the chart on NEO, and I think it's higher. So. Thanks for the 12. I'll just go back to your questions. I'm only doing 2 symbols, and that's it. So if you already asked me, I'm skipping over because I'm trying to give everyone a chance. People getting upset. They can't get their questions. If I have time at the end, I'll do more. Or if you want to give me a super chat, I'll go right to your question. AMC, I'm going to just not do AMC and GME very in depth. Unless there's super chat, because I already have that video update and there's really not much more I could say that I've already posted. The only thing I would say on those two is the Russell, I believe, is pulling back, and that should put pressure on small caps, including GME and SM and AMC, which could bring those lower, should bring those lower, right? So I do expect more downside, but I do expect the cycle has ended from 2021, and more upside is most probable to correct that cycle, and then we'll see what happens. Of course, if these lows break, then it's they're not tradable anymore on the long side in my system. But these lows probably won't break. But I do think AMC's got more downside, with maybe a small bounce here coming, a bounce. Now, if we have a significant bounce, then Y is finished and the cycle has ended. So just keep that in mind. But if you look at this bullish divergence here, if that does take place, then more than likely we'll bounce and fail later. If we bounce hard, that bounce would fail and we would probably break this low at some point. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, guys, let's keep going. Cava, Cava's been bullish. It's some say it's the next Chipotle. I don't know about that, but it's obviously doing well. Right? It's going up everywhere. Everyone likes Cava that I know of. So Cava, guys, had this buy. Missed it by a couple bucks. So now we need to know where are we in the cycle in it. We actually had the buy down here at 30 back on the first 3 swing, but that was a lot riskier. But now the risk is over. So you have one cycle here, one cycle. You have a 3. So to me, if I look at this, and I try to extend it out, we're not near the target. So I look at it as a 1-2, 1-2. So you definitely want to buy 3-wave pullbacks, get in on this trade. It looks like we've ended 5. That's your first wave down, 1, 2. And then it looks like there's another 1, 2 in the making. Earnings hasn't come out, that's why. That's why we haven't had the real 3 of 3 moment with price separation. I'm not saying their earnings will do that, but so let's take a look here. Yeah, I'm not going to call it a 1, 2. I'll just call it a 1 with a very shallow 2. So this dip was heavily bought. This was aggressive. So there's a lot of people that want this thing bad. That's a very shallow correction for this whole cycle. So so yeah, if you get a bigger dip, I would definitely want to take advantage of that. That would be like at 74, 73, somewhere in this area. If it can make it down there. That's a good one. We'll keep an eye on that. I want to keep an eye on that one. Okay. That's Cava. All right, looks like I've got another super chat, NTRS. Let's go to that and see where we are with it. Looks like it's a new symbol for us. Northern Trust. I guess some kind of financial. Looks like it's been around for a while. All right, let's take a look at this chart. So right away, I don't see the wave 3 peak anywhere in here. So this is more than likely a series of 1s and 2s with the first. I would call that yeah, let's take a deeper look at that swing. Yeah, it would be a 1-2, 1-2. So again, you have a 1, 2, 1, 2. Three, 4, 5. And then we're correcting this cycle. So we're still in a, believe it or not, we're in a grand super cycle wave 3 that is having a hard time breaking out, but I believe it will. I believe it will. Look, every one of these has been 3 swings down. Typically, as I've always said, overlapping fours and twos and fours here like this, the correction usually ends between the 4 and the 2, right around $49. So that's probably where I'm thinking it's going to head, somewhere around here. So I do think it's got more downside, but I don't know when that turn will happen. My guess is price is going to rise and then it's going to fall again. But where that fall happens, I can't be certain of it. You'll have to do what's best for you on this. My guess is there's more upside and then downside, something like that. That's what I'm thinking is going to play out. Something like that. And then a massive super cycle 3 of 3. It's set up for that. So this is I mean, if you've got a time horizon of 25, 30 years, you want to buy here, but boy, it's going to be a slow goer. But when it is eventually going to see some really good upside if it can survive this wave 2, and it should because it survived these. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see, but I think that's what it's going to end up doing. What is it exactly? Is it a bank or something? Yeah, some kind of bank. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this bank. I don't know what it does. I don't know if it's in commercial real estate or what its issue is. But yeah, definitely more upside. So here with the break higher, like we just saw there, we should see more upside. Somewhere in this area, 100, 115. That's what I'm thinking right now based on the chart. Something like that. And then out. And that's how I look at it. All right. Thanks for the 5. Do you think AMC will go to 30, 40, 130? I could say, I can't tell you how high it's going to go. I could tell you that I think the high that we just made will break at $10 or $11. I'm almost certain we'll exceed that high at some point in the next 12 to 18 months. But from there, you could just going to have to use your imagination. I mean, typically AMC, I mean, if you're just looking at a normal like retrace of a move, right? A retrace of a move. If you're just going to look at that, let's go to my tech stocks here, my meme. If I'm just going to look at a retrace of a move here, right? My guess, that's why I have it at 183. But you probably won't be fast enough to get that. So I don't know. I mean, we know we see 50 retraces here, 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 but this swing really hasn't had it. So more conservatively, that's like aggressive, but more conservatively, that would be 80. That would be this swing, which we haven't correct. Like I think it's obvious. Like you could make an argument if you're bearish. You've corrected that swing down with that move, this swing down with that move, this with that, but this swing down has not been is gone uncorrected. So that could get you to 80. So maybe 80, and then that's probably like more cautious, conservative. But when is it going to happen? I don't know. In the future, right? Right, it's going to happen. But I'm almost just like these. One day you'll wake up, it's going to do that, and then it'll be over. And then this cycle would have corrected, and then either it will go to new lows, or it will take another swing and correct the entire move up to 180. That's how this will play out. But this is just the first inning, right? I told you like AMC is the first inning of a baseball game, of a 10-inning game. Guys, it's just the first inning. It's just the first inning. Just got the break. Just got the break on the weekly. We're just starting. This weekly RSI is going to come up here again to the overbought. It's going to happen. This reminds me when Bitcoin traded to $3,000 after the 2018 pump. Remember, Bitcoin was 19,000, something like that. We thought it would never happen again, right? No, never happen. We'll never get back up there. And then it capitulated as like 3,000. It's like dead, and the RSI is dead. It's like, but the pro traders, we were all saying, hey guys, the RSI is going to come back because these cycles repeat. It's going to come back. Now, we didn't know Bitcoin would do what it did, so we don't know. Could 500? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, I keep an open imagination, but I don't look at. You always have to trade on what you can lose, not what you can make. So if you're worried about what you can make, you're looking at it the wrong way. You have to worry about what can you lose. What are you willing to risk in the casino, right? What are you willing to lose? And then what you make is what the market decides. And if you get surprised, great. If you don't, well, hey, this is the way it goes. But at least you know what you're risking. So I always go into a trade. With what can I lose? What am I willing to lose? I never worry about what I can make. I don't know. Maybe you never know. Like, who knows what we can make? I mean, but I'm just giving you some ideas. But you should always think about what you can lose, and what can you lose in AMC. I mean, if you buy it right here, right now, it can go all the way down to 244. Right. So you have no defined risk here. It's a big risk. So it's risky. That's why I say it's a lotto play buying it here. It's a lotto play. But maybe we could get a better defined risk by trading with the Russell and then using the Russell as a gauge of when to leave and enter versus the stock itself. And then we're using the stock market to help us push us out of the correction. Right? That's the logic behind that. Or we get a pivot that we can trade against. Until then. All right, guys, let's go to Donald, your questions. Thanks for the 10. Let's see, take a look at Coinbase. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here now. Couple things with Coinbase. Very impulsive on the way down with bullish divergence. So clearly this is 5 down in my mind. Right, it's 5 waves down. Okay. So, and then you have a connector. So let's just think about this for a minute. More than likely, if Bitcoin's going to pump, the connector's going to pump. So let's get rid of these targets for now and just assume we're still in the connector and we're going to pump back up in B and then come back down later. That's what I expect to happen. And then so the question is, where can it go? 245, 260. And this makes sense because if Bitcoin, you watch, if Bitcoin can make a higher high soon, I think it will break 70,000. I bet Coinbase does not break this high, and that will be your warning sign. You're in a correction in these stocks, right? It's a warning sign. They're lagging, right? That's a sign of a top, which is Bitcoin is kind of doing before you get a bigger pullback. This pullback, right? So that's what I look at Coinbase. Tesla, man, has been, I don't know if someone's manipulating Tesla or what's going on with it. It is like frozen trading. So I'm waiting for this breakout. It's kind of trades like Neo, and it's just kind of stuck. It wants, I believe the pressure of the market wants to take it higher to finish this reversal pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder out to 240. But there is a chance right? We could make another leg lower, right? Another leg lower down to 150. Now, I don't think it's likely because we have 5 up here in this wave 1. And we also have 5 up here. It's hard to see it, but we have 5 up here. So you have 5 waves. So I don't see it, but you know, it's taken a lot of time. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if there's news that it's being manipulated, accumulated, and the people in the know there's news about the drop, and they're just, you know, loading the boat, and then magically this amazing news drops, and then it surges higher. Like, but there's some games happening here because I think there was a trading day. It did like the price moved like 10 cents, like it moved like nothing, like it's just frozen. Like, did they stop trading? It was really strange price action. So either there's not a seller left, like every seller has left the market. There's not a seller left alive that wants to sell this stock, or it's being held back, boxed in. The price is boxed in by the market makers to accumulate it before a huge markup. There's I just can't think of any other reason what's going on with it. And why would you do that? Well, you do that because you know news is about to drop. And you don't want the price to move yet because you want to use that news, leverage that news to make the maximum amount of pain or gain in this matter. That's my guess. So there's games happening here. There's games. There's some kind of trickery. But again, if it does want to do this drop, I would not be shaken out. It's just another wave 2. I personally would just be buying more. But I'm playing this through TSLL. And if we do want to drop, I'll just buy more of it. It's not a big deal because, as you know, I'm very patient when it comes to letting my trades play out. I don't day trade. I let these things play out, even if it takes weeks. But they eventually play out. But a lot of traders are impatient and they'll just give up and then they miss out. So we'll see how this ends up later. Silver has been great, right? I hope everyone has been able to take advantage of my updates on silver. We have been long and heavy in this since $22 silver. And 32 was our first target. We hit that Friday, I think, right? But now the question is, where do we go from here, right? Where do we go from here on silver? So let's look at the actual metal. Okay, so guys, the count is now a 1-2-1-2 because the 4-hour risk divergence. I said this could happen, right? This is what happens when you try to guess and short a wave 5, right? Again, a lot of traders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so smart, I'm going to short. I got my face blown up in a 3 of 3. That's why you got to be careful with this stuff. So we're in a 3 of 3 in silver. I wouldn't be surprised to see a gap up and run with some separation to define the impulse. And then we top out for a while. And then we have a big correction. So I would say there's definitely more upside to come. Right? We need to see bearish divergence on the 4-hour with a higher high and lower RSI. So we got more upside. So I think you just got to hang in this trade and let it play out, and not get cute with it. Not be like, I'm going to trade a trade in and out of it because you're going to be left behind. This is not the time to do that. This is the time to just sit back and let the market work for you. Especially if you got in down at 22, down when we were buying it. And then here I gave another update where I gave you guys another entry and called the double bottom with the wedge breakout. This was classic, right? This wasn't even Elliott waves, guys. This is just trading 101, stock trading 101, right? You even need to, like, I could just show you this picture, and once you got these two candles with these, these candles here, that was it. And then there we go. And now this is the surprise. So now here we are. Why is it doing this? Bigger picture on silver, guys. Bigger picture. You guys see something here. Bigger picture. We broke this downtrend since 2011. Finally broke out. Okay. We have a breakout of this consolidation, kind of like a cup here. that kind of, cup broke out. So where do we think the first, the first area could be, right? 40, but 47.50. So that's why I think it could tag $50 in this first pull impulse. It could tag 50 and then pull back in a long consolidation period underneath resistance for at some point a future mega pump out. That's what I would expect, but you can't rule out that it goes into, I think as someone posted on Twitter, berserk mode, right? This is berserk mode, right? Berserk mode. You can't rule that out, guys. There's so many people short silver in terms of big institutions. You don't know. So why would you want to leave? I would not want to leave positions in silver, but I think silver is good. I think it's just going to continue higher, and we're seeing that acceleration, and it should continue. It should just be supported. Let's take a look at a bigger picture. Monthly time frame. As we could see, wave 3, this will eventually take out this peak on 2010. So there's more upside, but how high will price have to go? I can't tell you, but I think eventually it will even take out all these peaks, or this peak here, 1980 peak. It will exceed the momentum and energy of this peak at some point, and that's when we know it's over. But we just don't know the future. But this is a massive cup and handle, and when it breaks out, it isn't just going to go to $80 and oh, it's great. If this breaks out, I'm thinking first target $300 an ounce, blow off top target $1,000 an ounce. That's what I'm thinking. Crazy berserk mode targets. So my berserk mode targets $1,000 an ounce. The first major area, like we had, where was it? Like the first major area where it breaks down, will probably see how it broke out here and it consolidated. I believe this will be like around $300 an ounce, and then we'll come out and then we'll have a final push to the 1,000, and that'll be it. So that's what I guess with silver in the future, but when, can't tell you. But the chart is the chart. The chart turned bullish, right? We always worried that silver would make a bigger correction lower, and it never happened. It just never happened. So the bulls are in control, which means inflation's in control, and it means something more sinister has happened underneath the hood of the market that we don't see. But I believe when silver really goes into berserk mode, the SPY will be in its historical crash. I believe the SPY will be in the historical crash while silver and gold are in berserk mode. Right now, we're just going to build up to that moment. But when we get to berserk mode in precious metals, this is what I bet will happen in the indices. This. So silver and gold is telling you, hey guys, shit, time's running out. But hey, we know that the market has got more upside. I still think it does. It's not done yet. I would not top it out here, but by the end of the summer, we got to be careful. Like we'll have to wait and see where we end up. But I think that's how I see it. That's a long speech on silver. I needed to share that information. I think it's important. Thanks, Don. All right, and Donald. Fabio, thanks for the 5. Isn't moving with IWM. Let's look at that. I don't know that symbol off the top of my head. See if we've charted it before for you. Looks like we have. All right, so we have the X wave here, right? We're looking for another pullback lower. Let's see why we decided that. I don't know. I mean, you always look at something a second time. That could be the low. I mean, that could be the low. But if it isn't, you see you have no divergence there. So I look at this. Well, we do have some bearish divergence. Well, we have a 1, 2. Yeah, that lows in. We're impulsing out of this. So yeah. So to me, I would call this low in and we're in an impulse off the low. And then this looks like your 5 and 2 right there. And we're coming out. So my guess is we're doing something like that. And you're in something like that. So although we did correct that whole thing, yeah, there's a little bit of divergence. It's hard to see it. That. But we didn't take that out, so it's another one too. So yeah, I look at it this way. So something like this is how I label it. And then your question is, the move up from April 25th, is it 1 of 5? Is it moving with the IWM? What's the market cap on it? It probably is. What is it? Is it energy? Biopharmaceutical? It probably, I mean, the Russell, it moves with the Russell, but I think it also moves with like the, what is this, the biocap index? I don't know it off the top of my head. There's another low cap biologic index. It's probably moving with that index. So they're tied together. But yeah, I think it directly moves with the Russell. I'll have to look for it later. But there is an ETF for the low cap biotech stocks. What I would say here is, but as you can see, it doesn't just move with the Russell, right? The Russell's been sideways essentially until recently. So I would say that, to me, not as much the Russell, but more about the healthcare biologic, sector. Yeah, see, it's gonna come out. Why is this so bullish? Did they have like a new drug release or something, or get approval on something? Yeah, I don't know why it's so bullish. I don't know. They must have something going on. They must have some drug that's working out. Maybe you could post in the chat for everybody what's making them, turn like this. Yeah. So anyway, that's the count. So it's about to have a big breakout. Right? That's what it looks like to me. A big breakout, on the verge of a big breakout. All right, guys, let's go back to your questions and see what you have. CGC, I think I heard some news around cannabis and regulation, federal regs. It came out. Let's see here. So we had that first 5 up. We finished. We had 1, 2 right here, right? And now we're in another cycle higher. Yeah, it's just going to keep going higher, man. It's grinding higher. It's just, so I think it's something like that. Yeah, I see it going higher. Something like this. And then a pullback and out. All right. It looks like I got another super check come in, Mitso. Let's take a look at Sofi and some of these others. Sofi is finished up this 5th wave here. As you can see, we're pulling back. I still don't like trading it. I believe the trend is lower. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. We could still see more upside. We could go back up all the way to $8, $8.50 though. It could come up to here. right between the 4 and the 2, 850. So, but that's how I look at it, but I still think it's in a bearish trend. YNN, like I said, the Hang Seng's starting to show signs of topping out, and like we just showed PDD update, maybe pulling back, right? So I do think YNN needs a correction, right? It's extended, it's getting too extended. I do believe it's due for a pullback, essentially at any moment, right? So you need to be careful in it. I mean, here's the thing. We did erase divergence right here, right there on that peak. All right, so we're still in wave, so that's okay. So there's no violation there. So I would just say that it's topping out. It should be topping out for a big pullback. But that pullback should be supported. So this is where you got to understand, like, you get pullback and then it should be supported. But how deep could it do this? You never know. Yeah, maybe it could do that even. I don't know. Like, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be shallow. I think the pullback, when we get it, will be shallow. Because a lot of people missed the China move and they want to get in on this trade now. So I do think a pullback will be shallow. And the surprise would be it just extends, but we'll know in the next couple trading days if it really surges higher and separates. And then we've erased divergence again and we have another 1-2 here. But I don't like selling it. I don't like selling it. I like to have some cash on the sidelines if we get this pullback to buy stocks in China, to buy these instruments. But if you're playing YNN, it's really, I wouldn't really do much. I wouldn't really do much other than just, you know, it's a correction. It's just going to be a correction. So, all right. And Baba, been a great opportunity. We got that wave 2. We're in wave 3. So again, Baba should be coming to an end, this 4 and 5, and then another bigger pullback to correct this whole move, right? This should need more extension, right? It seems not extended enough. Yeah, it's another 1-2. So Baba, this will correct, but it's still within wave 3 of the larger degree. So this should be another 1-2. We may already be in 2. And we could pull back again and then come out, something like that. Thanks, Mitso. Oh, Crypto Mickey, man, thanks for the $70. I appreciate it. That's like, I think one of the biggest super chats I've gotten in a long time. I appreciate it. Thanks for the analysis. I've been putting your name out there to get you more followers. I appreciate that. It's great that you made a lot of money on China. And yeah, I do think we are close to a topping out area for a pullback. It makes sense to do that. I mean, if I was in that trade, I would definitely trim it in depending on how much gains you have in proportion to the rest of your account balance, right? You have to look at how much do you have invested in YNN and what is that in proportion to your entire account? And if it's a good portion, then you need to trim it. If it's not, then you can let it ride. It's not a big deal. It's really your money. This is about money management, and you have to figure that out. But I just showed you a couple of charts that should make you stand at attention, right? Baba looks like it's pulling back here. PDD looks like it wants to double correct, right? This looks, to me, I think that's what's going to happen here. And if those two things happen, then YNN's pulling back. Now, how about let's look at the K-Web and see if the K-Web gives us any clues about our situation. So the K-Web came out of its correction here in a 1-2, and we're coming out. So K-Web does show, I mean, we could just see we don't have a 4 and 5 yet. We don't have a 4 and 5 yet. So we need a 4 and a 5. Although that may be it. So yeah, so the K-Web's actually showing a complete cycle here. And again, I believe that's just wave 1. So yeah, so I think he's got a pullback. But look, I think there's more upside coming in China. It's got this pullback coming. But yeah, this was good, guys. If you followed me, we were actually, again, we saw the wedge breakout, and it's just, and then we had another opportunity here. It was just really nice, and I appreciate that. YNN, and then Tesla. Like I talked about Tesla just a second ago. To me, Tesla is, and again, I'm going to assume you heard what I said about it, but you have this inverse head and shoulders that wants to play out that everyone is seeing now. I have it in a 1-2 impulse off the low, 1-2, 1-2 setup. I hope to get this to play out early next week to get confirmation. Now, it could double correct still, and I could be wrong, right? And we drop to 148, but that would still be supported. I like to be a buyer of Tesla against 167, and if it breaks, then 148. But I like to accumulate in general this entire area for long-term holds, because if this is a major cycle wave too, right? Tesla could be in, guys, a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and we're playing for this breakout eventually. So I don't want to worry too much about my short-term entry because I'm looking at the bigger time frame. But if your time frame is shorter, you need to expect that they could decide to drop it and then run it. But I don't think that's going to happen because I think we have what we have 5 up here, 5 up off this low, which indicates to me that the low is in with a 3-wave pullback. And then even here we have, I think, a 5-wave move off this low here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and again, this wave too could come back down too, right? We could do that. I wouldn't be surprised to see they drop to 173 again. But if you look at the candles, they're already starting to turn. So it may have already started to turn. So we'll see what happens. Thanks again for the super chat, man. Okay, let's go back to your questions, guys. To Mom, PDN versus FMG. Let's take a look. I'm not too familiar with those symbols, but we can and again, maybe we've done them in the past. PDN, Paladin Energy, and FMG for rescue. Okay. Like I said, I look at a chart, I like to go to the higher time frames. Massive wave 1 and 2, right? And then we come out of that. So it's a wave 5 right now, right? Extended 5th, although let me see if we got the low right here. No, let's fix that. So it's actually corrective. It's corrective. It's some kind of corrective move. Very, very dangerous area to trade it in either direction. It's in the short area too. If this is corrective, it's the ideal short entry right here, right now. It's ideal for shorting. If this is the correct, now it needs a 4 and a 5. So to negate this, it's going to need a 4 and a 5, right? Or it needs to just extend past 1849, right? If it does that, that'll negate it. So my guess is it's corrective and it's going to pull back down. Now, will it break this low at 46 cents? I can't tell you because it could continue to correct, right? It may just move in another 3. It could just, maybe it pulls back in 3 and then later it comes back up in 3. And it does that for years and years and years, for God knows how long. right? So, but I think it's at risk for a pullback. It's at risk for a pullback. We'll say that for now, something like that. Okay, and then the next one you had was FMG. This one's a little different. We'll have to go back and look at it to see where the low is. Here. And again, it's the same kind of looking chart. Let's take a look at the cycles. We have to go to the higher time frame. See that bearish divergence? Yeah, actually, it's with so much bearish divergence. My guess is it's this. And we're going to come back down. Yeah, I think this one's in a lot of danger, but I believe it's well, you know, we never took these peaks out, so I'll label it a little more bullish. I'm going to label it a little more bullish. And then out. So I'll label it like that. Now, we're still in wave 5. Now, you see how we erased divergence with this? So wave 5 is extending. So we should see more upside in wave 5. At least one more high. You know, a few more highs. Something like that. Yeah, so that's how I look at this one. So good luck trading it. But I think it's something like that. Okay, let's take a look at where we are. So Don, as you know, only do 2 symbols. So I'll just do the first 2, Dava and GMED. Of course, super chat, I'll do all of them. It's just fair. It's what I'm doing. That's the rule I follow. Dava, and the other one is GMED. All right, Dava. So right away, when I see something like this, let's go to the monthly. No divergence, shallow connector, right? Shallow connector with a breakdown with no divergence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5A. Yeah, so this is the connector here. So the buy would have been in this area potentially against the low of $21. So that's the buy as long as divergence has been erased, and you have. So it could be a really good opportunity for a long position potentially. Right? Clearly impulsive. You know, can't wait to see what this company is because, yeah, this could be a 2 and out. Let's take a look. What does these guys do? Technology services. Yeah, I don't know what they do, but that's the count. Now, of course, if we break the low at $20, then it's game over. then it's then this leg will extend lower, and it will go much deeper, the correction. I wouldn't like to trade. So you could try to buy it here with a stop at like 21, but there's no guarantee that this could continue lower, of course. And then the next one, GMed. All right, so we'll call that the 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2. So this one looks like to me its correction's finished here, right? You see it hit the buy area, was shallow in the buy area, which is very bullish, and we've essentially gone vertical. So to me, it's ready to go into wave 3, and it may already have a breakout starting here, like that. So this could continue much higher. So we don't know. Again, I don't know what's driving it, but that's the chart. That's how I look at it. And GMed, Globus Medical does what exactly? Promoting the healing in patients with muscular skeleton disorders, innovative fusion and disruptive technologies. Yeah, I'm not sure what they did. I don't know about them, but I guess investors are excited. At least you're getting this counter trend rally. Now, here, to me, this move doesn't even look like it's in 5 waves, right? So to me, this actually off the low just looks like another 1, 2. But I can be wrong. So it's very bullish. I don't know what did they say in earnings? What was their earning? I guess there was an earning. They were a big earnings beat, I guess. Yeah. Globus Medical. And what's its market cap is 8.7 billion. That's big. It's a big market cap. Big market cap. But hey, this is the count. All right. Let's see if I got let's see here. Next question. CVAC and plug. Okay. All right, historical bear market. Right. Massive connector wave right here. Right here that failed. Sadly. Yeah, it's moving in a WXY structure. My guess is the first move is done, and it should have another low. So my guess is it's got something like that. The surprise could be, you know, this X was really shallow, right, for correcting the whole move. So I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, let's think about this, that we don't get the expanded flat correction. Get that. So if you're an aggressive trader, you could try to take a long position against 219 and just see what happens. See if you can get lucky and get something like that. But I would definitely not expect it to go much higher than $18 if that happens. Okay. And then what was it? Plug Power, right? That's the hydrogen company. Hydrogen. So Plug Power, I've been following Plug Power for a while in my charting. Whoops, I don't want to get rid of that one. Okay, so I have the entire correction has ended, right? So just like most of these growth stocks, it's over. So now it's in this like this phase where we should start seeing it support it. I believe that low held here or double bottomed. Let me see here. Or did it? Did it break? It broke the low. So that's not good. So that actually will extend it out. So uh, that to me indicates that we're still in Y, and we'll still go lower, but one more swing, one more swing. So yeah, I think it's got more downside coming. Um, one more impulse lower. It's got one more impulse lower. So the wedge really didn't work out in this case, although I can expand it a little bit, change the shape a little bit to fit it. Um, but for now, looking at it since we made the new low, we should be headed down another swing. And where's the like the low? 5 cents. Well, luckily that low will hold. I mean I don't know if it's going to go under $1, but it may test the dollar. It may test the dollar. But eventually it'll come out of it, and we'll see a hell of a pump. We always do with this stock. This stock has been a good trader stock, but this was insane. This move. But I think they warned they were going to potentially go out of business, right? I think they warned something like that, or they were going to go bankrupt. So you got to be careful in it. It could be a go to zero play. Okay, so let's see. I've got a little bit more time. I'll just answer a few more questions here. Palantir, like I said, I only do two, so I'll do your first two. Palantir and J&J. Palantir is close to a buy area for me, but not quite there yet. I do think we have one more leg lower coming where we have 3 connector. We need one more push lower to 1841. J&J, let's see how that one's been doing. Okay, our buy was at 139, so we had a double correction. So we did have a buy here earlier on our videos, and then we got the nice bounce, but then it double corrected here. So it looks like actually that's finished because there's your 3 swings. So to me, it's done. It's correction, and it's coming out in wave 3 of 1. So I think it's coming out. So I think it's done. It's correction here at 143. And then it should just come out in hopefully a new grand super cycle wave 3 of 3, right? Because I think this corrected the grand super cycle of J&J. Let's take a look we probably need to go to the quarterly chart. Looks like to me it's it's not the grand super cycle, but it was a 1-2-1-2 on a bigger cycle. So we have a 1-2, and then we have another 1-2, and we come out. So yeah, J&J may be looking good for long-term investors, right? This could be a great long-term investment opportunity in this stock, because I mean, yeah, you didn't get it at the bottom, but I mean that's how I look at it right now. 1-2-1-2. It looks like this is over. And look, guys, the overlapped waves means it's really bullish. So like this means the trend is obviously higher. This is counter trend. This is counter trend price action. So to me, this could be a pretty good opportunity. When it does break out, it could really really move a lot higher. So yeah, so J&J is gonna get out of its funk hopefully pretty soon. It did double correct, but I think it's over. I think the double correction's over. So you got the capitulation, no divergence. Let's see here on the weekly. I don't like that though. So that's a caution. Let's look at the month. The monthly, you don't have it. So sometimes the chart's not ideal, but you see you don't have bearish divergence on the monthly and the daily. The weekly is a little bit different. So I would say it's not like crystal like 100% perfect charting, but for now I think it's safe to put that here. I think it's safe. I mean, could it make one last swing lower? I mean, it's possible to get that weekly divergence erased. Um, but if it does, it would be 138.88. So maybe the way to play this is you wait for 138.88 if you're really picky about your entry. If we get that capitulation to get that weekly divergence erased, but I'm thinking it probably is already finished. But we could still be in this leg, but it does look like it broke. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed emotion about it, but it's not enough data to call the low like 100%. But it could be. We're very close. We're very close. If it does dump here, 138 would be an incredible opportunity, I think, in this stock. An incredible opportunity here. Okay. Let's take a look, guys. Is there anything else I want to talk about here? Solana. Yeah, let's look at crypto. Solana. We haven't done that in a while. Now, following me, we've done really well trading Solana on our channel. We actually I don't have my boxes anymore, but we called the short here, and we got that, and we actually called the buy back down when it was in the single digits, and we called this reversal. So we caught Solana like every step of the way, and we also called this wave 5 top, and we got that. So now we're in this B wave. The B wave I expect will end, and we'll get C for an amazing opportunity to go long this again. But I would not. I would be expecting more upside, obviously with Bitcoin and everything else kind of moving higher. But I do think we got one more leg lower. So that's. I still think that's where Solana is trading. Especially this is very 3 swing. It looks very 3 swing right now. So, but where does B go? I think it could go up higher, given Bitcoin's forecast is higher. But sometimes the cryptos just trade on their own, and maybe we get a drop early on it. This is the area, $80 of where I think it could eventually end up, this cluster of wave 4 support right around here. Okay. Yeah, natural gas is getting my attention too. Could natural gas be the bottom in? I still think it's up to oil, what oil decides to do. If oil, I think, plays out my forecast, I just don't see how natural gas can pump in this situation. However, if oil negates this forecast and we break 88, then I think you have to call the bottom in natural gas. So I think natural gas could be trapping bulls right now for a potential rug pull, one last capitulation move. And I still believe, my thinking is natural gas may need a capitulation move down. So I just, again, this looks like 3, so we could still be in this wave 2, but we did see we broke this low. So the market structure is not strong for bulls, but we could be in this playing games in wave 2. So yeah, maybe very short term it's still bullish, but I don't want to FOMO in on this structure. It's not really tradable on my system anymore because we made this lower low. I want to see a capitulation move, and I think we're going to get that. I'll do Roku because I've given that I gave that on a watch before, and it is between the 2 and the 4, pretty much tagged that, and we've been off. We have an inverse head and shoulders. I believe it's coming out of this, guys. I believe it's going to come out of this. I believe investors, this is where you want to buy Roku, guys, right now, for potential wave 3. I mean, this is what the chart is telling me. 5, pullback in 3, or actually this would be a WX, YZ correction, right? WX, WYZ. So this triple, it's a triple, and then you're coming out. What would change that view is if we break this low, because then you would have 5 down. I would have to call this like an impulse, and then it's going to be a much more complex correction. That means we'll be dead money for a while. But I still think this low will hold at $38. Okay, I got some, another big super chat. Let's go to that. Anirudh Ashok. I hope I'm saying your name right, but thanks for the 50, man. I appreciate the big super chats, guys, because I do work hard, and I do appreciate that, and I hope hope these things help. All right, Matic Polygon. Yeah, I know the Matic coin. I haven't had a lot of people ask about it, so that's okay. Let's see here. I can find it here. Yeah, we had this, right? Let's take a look at what's going on here. So let's kind of take a look. So what I was looking for here is a W, X, Y, and then another 3 legs down. So let me erase it to kind of show the logic behind this a little bit. So the first WA was an ABC for W and a connector. Okay, a connector. And then we need another ABC, right? Or another 3 swing move, because this is Y. So the 3 swings looks like it played out in ABC. So that was where I had to just change the chart here. So it looks like it's playing out as an ABC. So I do expect, I think it's got one last leg lower to finish this correction. How low is it going to go? It's really tough to get a target, but maybe the best way I can see trying to get one is here. That would be about 5 cents. So that's a pretty big capitulation move. Now, I know it's hard to like think about that, but that's the reason I look at this chart that way. And if I remember right, it's been a long time since I looked at this. Let me see here. Why did I not call that the low? Oh yeah, we didn't get an impulse off the bottom. Yeah, no impulse. So that's the reason I didn't call the low, is because this is not an impulse, this leg. That's the reason. And actually, if you look, this is an impulse. So the trend, and this is not an impulse. So the trend is down still. That's how I see it. Now, the data can be wrong, right? I can be wrong, but you have to do what's best for you. But that's how I look at it. So I do see we need 5 waves down. So now it may not make it down there, but once 5 waves is done, and we want to see the divergence erased, we want to see on the weekly this peak here taken out, then it should be could be a potential major bottom. But I'd be careful in it. Yeah, I'd be careful in it on the long side. But I wouldn't short it either. So this is one that it's tough to trade it. On the shorter time frame, we can look at the 4-hour and see where we are in this cycle. It looks like to me we're in a 4-wave. One more low, and then we should get a pump higher. And then the big move down. So maybe short term we get a little bit of another dip, then Bitcoin pumps, right? We think Bitcoin's pumping, this pumps in wave 2, and then Bitcoin dumps. to 49,000, and that's what takes out the whole crypto ecosystem for this final capitulation that I'm expecting, really across all crypto stocks, right? That final move down, you saw that in my Coinbase analysis, right? But I think short term, we got this like pump coming. I do believe that. I'd be surprised if Bitcoin just breaks down from here. But we'll have to see how this plays out. XLV is a healthcare sector. Yeah, so I have a nice setup in healthcare, guys. Healthcare is bullish, maybe extremely bullish. We had the whole grand super cycle top, and I do believe, as you can see, let's go to the quarterly. I think I have to go to the quarterly here. There. That's the correction there. So that could have corrected. I mean, in my opinion, the whole thing. I think it could have corrected the whole thing. It's pretty bullish if that's the case. I mean, it didn't even go very deep at all. So here's your 3 of 3, right? And then you peek out, right? And then let's take a look here. And then we come down. Yeah, we're bleeding RSI. We're making higher price. Let's actually go back to the quarterly here. Take another closer analysis at it. What's interesting is this divergence taking this peak out here, but we didn't take that out. So the 3, 4, the 1, 2, the 3, 4. So the cycle did break. So this is correcting the grand super cycle. Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't think it's a flat. So this is a flat. So there, you know, the conservative view would be a flat to get the RSI to give it the right look. Right now the RSI doesn't have an ideal look, but I can't call the flat given all the other information I'm seeing, and especially if we take this high out, which is like we're about to. So I think, to me, this correction is already done. Let's see here. Yeah, it's probably in the first cycle off the low, something like this. Once we break that high, that will confirm this low's in price. But until we do that, there is a potential for a flat to come back. So I think this is the count. And then we get a pullback, right? And then it's like fireworks higher. This will be the sector to be in. Now, if but like I said, the more aggressive look is it's not that, it's this. So to me, I think healthcare, extremely bullish sector for the future for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why, but that's what this chart is telling me right now. It can be negated with a flat, but it's running. It's only like $3 or $4 away from negating the flat, guys. And then GDX. GDX here is doing really well. It is lagging gold, right? But that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you just can't anticipate what's going to lead and what isn't. But it is continuing to grind higher. Okay. So let's take a look here. GDX. So GDX has got a weird chart. We have 5 down, So this is clearly a flat correction, right? And then we're coming up. So this very three waves, right? When I look at the GDX here, when I look at the GDX, it's very three waves. Three waves. And this is 5 down. So maybe, what if it's not a flat, right? What if it's not a flat? What if it's something else? So I don't like trying to guess what that is over here. So I'm just going to trade this cycle. So I'm going to trade it as a corrective structure that's just going to continue, right? For now. So I do like more upside. Up to like 55.63. And it does look like it's breaking out in the next leg higher, right? And if you look at it, you see how high this pumped in this Y? This Y could do the same thing. So it may have a lot of upside, but it's moving in three waves. The other alternative is you come back to it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, big pullback, and then launch. And this was a flat. So I just can't like predict the future, and I can't worry about those things. And again, the other alternative is it could be a lead-in diagonal with 3 swings and not 5. So it could also be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, so we don't know. But I believe there's more upside. I believe there's more upside coming. Especially we just broke this high. We just broke this high, right? Big technical win for the market and for GDX. So this is where I think it's heading. But we'll need to look at the chart later to analyze the bigger picture, because the bigger picture isn't clear on what's really going on with this. Is it something like this, right? A, B, C? Is it something like that? Or is it, like I said, lead-in diagonal? And that, so I don't know. But I believe it's more upside, and there's more money to be made on the long side of this trade. Because again, it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 1, 2, 1, 2 out. So like, it's tough to say. It's just, I'm labeling it this way for now. Okay, Andre, let's go to your super chat. Let's take a look. LPSN, let's take a look at some of your questions here. Live person. Live person. Looks like the stock is dead. Dead person. It should be dead person. Dead. Yeah, I mean, if I look at the chart, I mean, it is 5 off the low, right? I mean, this is an impulse of some kind, but right, it's got to be something like that. So yeah, it's in do or die time. So I think this is what I think the count is. If it isn't that, then it's like a WXY, and it'll break the low. And oh, look at that. It has Fibonacci support here. It's right where it is now. Interesting. Yeah, why don't we label it that way? Because I bet that's going to be, looking at it just because of how deep it went, I bet that's probably the right way to label it. And it actually looks impulsive on the way down. So maybe it's something like that. Or I'm sorry, yeah, WX, and then this is an A, B, C, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like that labeling better. Yeah, I mean, it actually can bounce at any moment. But it can break this low and still have this Y leg potentially. I don't know why. I mean, it's crazy, and it's crazy to think why could even happen, given how low it is. But because we have 5 up, and we did a flat, I think it actually probably in the future will break this high at some point. I don't know when, but I think there's a chance that somehow it will break that high. What do these guys do? Mobile and online messaging solutions through conversational AI. Conversational AI. Did they figure their shit out? Maybe they're gonna throw something out on the market that people want. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, whatever they've been doing hasn't worked. But what this says is like they're gonna have their eureka moment where something comes together for their business. I don't know. So interesting chart, interesting speculative play here on an AI play, speculative AI play. All right, so let's see. Your other question was BT. That's our crypto. Still patiently waiting in our buy area at 122. So we have this flat correction that needs to play out. So it's just going to take time. But again, like Bitcoin, it could still continue higher, but I do believe it's got this final low coming. And then Nvidia is going to be interesting going into earnings, guys. People are already afraid of Nvidia and going into earnings long, just like they were before its huge breakout. So Nvidia, I have this 4 finished. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. I have 1. I like to see a pullback to 866 and then wave 3 of 5 really take place to get us over the $1,000. So perhaps if we sell off into earnings, that could be the setup. But if we pump in the earnings, I would be really careful, especially if we break this high. Because once we break this high, technically, the move could be over. This could end, and you could see a dramatic drop. So it's really tough. Like it's tough to trade. But right now, that's the count I see on Nvidia. And thanks for the super chat. Okay, guys, let's see. I got another super chat coming in. Good company, bad manager or something. Greenland Holdings, Weight Watchers, and Krone. Okay. Greenland Holdings. Oh, there it is. Okay. As long as $1.10 holds, there's a chance. Very 3-wave-ish, so it's obviously, and then the X is a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and pump and Y. That's why these Ys can be really spectacular. So obviously we're in the X wave. So you have to understand like the bigger picture here. So to me, what it looks like, your connector is here, and another W. It looks like some kind of other WXY. It's deep enough. So you see how you well, no, you didn't erase that divergence in that leg. So definitely more downside. We're still in Y, so I got more downside, but I believe we have a counter trend rally coming, and then more downside of some kind. And then could you get another spectacular Y leg? I mean, I don't know, but this entire move will need a pump to correct it. I don't think this is going to do it. I think it will get pushed back down, but I do believe at some point you'll get this X in, and if this structure's if it still exists, you maybe can get lucky and get a Y wave of some kind. But there's no guarantee because if we do break, typically, and when we break these lows at like 114 breaks, a three-wave structure can be supported below that, but typically when that happens, the stock goes to zero and goes out of the stock market. Okay, guys. Weight Watchers. Let's take a look here, guys. Weight Watchers. Massive. We got this wedge. So I have us in a wave 5 that needs to finish. And it looks like we're close, but it doesn't appear to be finished just yet. So we're close. We're close. We're close. So the way I'd look at it is, again, we need to do it in 3 swing moves. And there's your 3 swings. 3, 3. So we're waiting for this X wave to end. Let's see the target here. Let's take a look. Yeah, we can't really get, it's hard to get a target. So it's tough to say, but it's close to, it should be close to its end. And thanks for the super chat. Oh, super Tuisk, and again, apologize if I got your name wrong. Thanks for the 50. That's awesome. I really appreciate all the super chats, guys, today. I really thank you guys. It's awesome. Yeah, I'll take a look at ICP for you. Sure, yeah. The best way to understand how I read the market is to watch the videos and learn, and then follow people that are out there. There's a lot of information in Elliott waves theory, and learn as much as you can. But a lot of my people that have watched me since December 2021, they actually have started to now figure out kind of what I do, and that's how you learn. So let's see, ICP. Let's take a look here. I thought we've charted this before. I guess not. Oh, we were down here. Oh, so we had the buy here at 352. It looks like that turned out to be a good idea. So we actually, this was a long time ago. Somebody asked me for this, and we had the buy here, and that looked to be the right call again. All right, so that's the low, guys. Obviously, it's impulsive off the low, off this low, and we're in a correction, right? So the idea is where is the 5? So more than likely the 1 is here, and it looks like it's going to be a flat correction. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. And if it is, it's got a lot more downside coming. because of the way the sea leg looks at the moment. But not to, what I do want to say is I do think this is going to break down and get this wave too. I can't give you the target, but that's how I see the chart, because this is just too shallow, and when we climb off the low, we don't have 5 waves, we have 3, and we actually broke the low here. So this is how I have to label it. I wish I could be more bullish about it right now, but in this time frame I can't. I think it's going to be pulled down, but I do think this low should hold, and eventually you'll get get real good prices on it. So that's how I look at it. So be careful. Look out for that flat. To negate that view, we have to take out $22. That would negate the flat, and then this thing will like launch. So this is a tough area to trade it. I think if you're long already from these areas, you have to just hold through this, because you're not going to guess it. This is what I think is the most probable outcome, but I can be wrong. So you'll have to do what's best for you. And thanks for the super chat. It was awesome. Okay, guys. Let's just kind of go through your chats. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll start from the bottom and work my way up, and I can't answer your questions. Oh, I forgot Crone. Yeah, if you give me a super chat, I'll get to it. That's what I do. So if I forgot one, I'll do that. And another new one, Kronos. Looks pretty impulsive on the way up here, although we may not have enough data to do this properly. Yeah, there's not enough chart data to do this properly. I don't know, maybe that's a pretty extended fifth. That's probably why it corrected. Anytime you see a really big extended fifth, it means the correction is going to be brutal on the other end. Anytime you see that, and how do we know it's extended fifth? Because look at where the 3 is, the 5. So, and look, we lost a whole 5. That's common. That's pretty common. And then it even double corrected. So for me, it probably's finished its correction. It just missed the buy area. The real buy area would have been 113. It's just, it hit like 156, but I believe it's done its correction, because it's clearly 3 swings as long as we've erased divergence, and we have. So to me, this is done. This one's finished. Or probably say ABC is probably a better way to label it. But whatever it is, it's ABC probably. And then we come out of this low, and we have to find where the actual low is right here. And now we're trying to come out in the first wave. It's trying to resurrect itself from the dead. I believe it's probably this. So it's going to be tough, brutal in this area. It's going to be like an accumulation zone. I think you'll get a lot of sideways action, and then eventually you should come out of it. So I bet you'll get a lot of pullback. Like this will probably pull back down to like 208 and come out. Like it's going to be accumulated here. I wouldn't expect it to just shoot up and out, but it could always do that, because I do believe the low is in here. And what do these guys do? I'm always interested what these pump and dump ones turn out to be. Cannabis. Okay, it's cannabis. Well, yeah, I mean, so it could just, so yeah, that's why it's found the bottom. That's why I found the bottom, because that industry is bullish now. Thanks for being Hook. hooked on my channel and you're learning something from it. Yeah, I've been on it too long. I got to get off. Yeah. Um, Nvidia. I gave the Nvidia update. Hopefully that helps you. That's tough. You know, if you're gonna YOLO Nvidia into earnings, and again, I never recommend doing that. Right? Never good to bet your rent money on stocks. But you guys gamble. Some of you guys do what you're gonna do, which is, you know, your call. If somebody put a gun to my head, I would YOLO along into earnings if we're trading at 864 in the earnings. That would be a YOLO long play. If we're trading up here in the earnings or we break this high in the earnings, I would YOLO a short play. Here, this is just like a coin flip. You might as well go to the roulette wheel and give it a chance here, right now. So you need more data. We need more data to really decide what we want to do. This is a good setup for wave 3 right here, in my opinion. For this out, and then this is a good setup, breaking this high into earnings for a good short. But here is a wild card because you could crash on earnings, drive this wave 2 down, find support, and then reverse hard out, you know, later, in a few days later after earnings. Or it could be done and you just melt up in 3. So like this is a flip of a coin, but here you get more data. Now, if you do come into this area and want to go long and you get a dump, you got to recognize it for what it is. It's just the wave 2 will extend, it will find support, and it will reverse. So whatever you YOLO in, if you guys are doing it, give yourself enough time for that potential situation, right? You don't want to do like a next day call here, because if they do decide to game the wave 2 lower, you have time to get out of that on the recovery on the wave 3. But that's how I would look at Nvidia if you're forced to try to trade this. But there's a lot of other things out there I showed you with setups that hopefully are better, more advantageous. Here again, you have an inverse head and shoulders continuation pattern. So I really like to see this 860 area hit. I really like to see this drop like that and then come out of it. That's what I like to see in Nvidia, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to end it. Thanks for the super chats. Really awesome. I appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and do this again next weekend, and I'll get my updates like I normally do on my channel, and we'll hopefully have a good look training. All right. Thanks, and I'll see you guys later.